Hi friends. So here I am with yet another series of what I cooked today. So I first made chicken croquettes. It's a very easy recipe and it gets ready also pretty quickly. So here I've taken a large pot and I've heated it up, and now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of oil. Then I'm going to add 500 grams of mince or keema. You can use any kind of mince. Then I've also added 2 tablespoons of ginger garlic paste to this mince, and I'm going to mix the two of it really well together and fry it for about 3 minutes till the mince cooks really well, or the keema. Now I'm going to add half a teaspoon of haldi powder or turmeric powder. Next we'll go in some salt to taste, 2 teaspoons rather of coriander powder or dhania powder, half a teaspoon of cumin powder or jeera powder, and half a teaspoon of pepper powder or miri powder. Now you can adjust all these spices according to your taste, and now fry everything really well for about a minute or two. And then you're going to cover and cook this mixture for about 3 minutes without adding any water or anything. We're just going to cover and cook it for about 3 minutes on a low to medium flame, and now you will see that the mince is nice and cooked. Now I'm going to drain the excess liquid from this mince by keeping it in a sieve with a plate and some kind of weight on top of it for about 10 to 15 minutes till all the liquid oozes out. Once the mixture is completely dry like this, we're going to transfer the mince to a large bowl. Now you can use the liquid to make a soup or add it to any curry. It's got a lot of flavor. Now I'm also going to heat a pan, and I'm going to add just 1 teaspoon of oil. Once the oil is hot, I'm going to add 1 green chili that I've cut fine. I'm using a light green chili. We're going to fry this chili really well. And once the chili is nice and fried, I'm going to add 1 small onion that I have cut fine. And then I'm going to fry the onion very well too. Now once this is done, we're just going to set this aside. Now I'm going to add 1/4 cup of finely chopped coriander leaves to the cooked mince. Next I'm going to add this fried chilies and onion mixture. Next we'll go in 1 egg. The juice of half a lemon or lime, roughly about a tablespoon of lemon juice. Mix all of this really well. And then I'm just going to add 1 cup of breadcrumbs. I've just taken slices of bread and just ground it in my mixer, or you can use ready-made breadcrumbs. And now mix everything really well. Now if your mixture is very watery, you can add some more of the breadcrumbs to give it a nice solid structure. And if it is very dry, then you can add 1 more egg. And now you're just going to form cutlets or croquettes, either of the two, and just roll them in some breadcrumbs and set them aside. And then I'm just going to shallow fry them till they're nice and golden brown in color. These are really delicious. It also makes a great snack or a starter or a tiffin recipe. Now next is this instant, quick, delicious chicken curry. It's super simple, friends. So here I'm going to be using my pressure pan. I've heated it up and I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon of oil. Now once the oil is really nice and hot, I'm going to add one medium onion that I've chopped fine. We're going to fry the onion really well till it becomes nice and translucent. Then I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of ginger garlic paste. Now here I'm using the ready-made ginger garlic paste, but I do have a recipe of how to make ginger garlic paste at home. I'll leave it in the link in the description box below. Now fry the ginger also very well along with the onions. Now I'm going to be adding 2 tablespoons of Kitchen King masala. You can use any brand, and this is easily available in any store. And now mix these three ingredients really well, and you'll get this beautiful aroma. And then I'm just going to add 200 grams of chicken that I've cut into small pieces. Now I'm using boneless breast, but you can also add chicken on the bone. And then I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of Kashmiri red chili powder and some salt to taste, and that's all. And now we just have to add some water, like you'll see. This is a really easy chicken curry, and it goes so well with anything. Now I'm making sannas, so this goes very well with sannas because the sannas actually, soak up all this amazing curry. And then I'm going to add 1.5 cup of water, mix everything well, and then I'm just going to pressure cook this for 1 whistle on high, and then simmer it, or cook it on a very low flame for 10 whole minutes. Then let the pressure cooker cool on its own completely, and once you open it, you'll have this delicious chicken curry. It goes very well with rice, pulao, or even some lovely pav. Squeeze some lemon on it, and it's super delicious. And of course, some lovely sannas. Now these are sannas made without any toddy, and they are really delicious. Now what I've done is I've taken 1 cup of rice, added 1 cup of rice to a bowl. Then I'm going to wash it under running water thrice, really well. Now I use this water for my plants because it acts as a good fertilizer. So use that for your plants if you have plants at home. And then I'm going to soak it in 3 cups of water overnight. This is very important that you soak this overnight. Now, once the rice has been soaked, we're going to prepare the yeast mixture. So for that, I've taken some warm water to which I've added some sugar, about 1 teaspoon of sugar to half a cup of warm water. It shouldn't be hot water, it should be warm water. And now we're just going to add about 1 tablespoon of yeast. Now I'm using dry active yeast. The instructions are always given on the yeast packet, so follow the instructions. And then we're just going to let this sit aside for about 10 to 15 minutes till it nicely doubles in size or starts to become, frothy. Now, once that is done, what we're going to do is we're going to drain all the water from the soaked rice, and we're going to add this rice to a mixer jar or a blender or a food processor. So you can use the regular rice which you use at home to make, rice, or you can even use basmati. Now I'm going to add half a cup of freshly grated coconut. This adds a lovely flavor to the sannas. Next, I'm going to be adding about 2 teaspoons of sugar and just 1 teaspoon of salt, or as per taste. Now we're going to give all of this a good mix. And then I'm going to add half a cup of water. And we're going to grind this to a very fine paste. So now our paste is ready. Transfer the paste to a large mixing bowl. And you'll see the consistency. It looks like a thick idli batter. And now we're going to add this yeast. Look at it, it's doubled in size and nice and frothy. So we're going to add that, mix everything well, and let this mixture just sit aside for about 10 to 15 minutes. But see that you mix it really well because we want the yeast to, go into every corner of this batter, because we want the sannas to rise and become nice and fluffy and porous. So when you dip it into any curry, it just soaks up all the curry and it's super delicious. So let the mixture sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. In the meantime, you can prepare your steamer by adding water to your steamer and let the water come to a rigorous boil. And I'm going to be using these steel vatis, but if you have the sanna vatis, you can use that also. But regular steel vatis also do. Just see they're a little bit large in size and they're all of the same size. And now I'm just going to fill up these vatis or cups to about 3/4 with the mixture. And then all you have to do is just steam it on a high flame or a medium flame for about 10 to 15 minutes. I generally do it on a high flame. You can also use it from medium to high and steam this nicely for about 10 to 15 minutes. Let the steamer cool completely on its own. And then your sannas are ready. Let the sannas come to a little bit of a room temperature before you run a knife through them and check whether they are, done. And then when you're demolding them, just run a knife, a very sharp knife around it so that it demolds very easily. And I made some very simple peas pulao or vegetable pulao. It gets ready so quickly, guys. So let me just take you through all of the ingredients. So for the pulao, this is 1 cup of rice that I've washed really well and soaked in 2 cups of water. This is half an inch of cinnamon, 2 cardamoms, about 4 cloves, and about 10 peppercorns. Now I'm going to be using 3 Maggi soup cubes. We don't need to add any salt. 1/4 cup of French beans cut fine, 1/4 cup of green peas, 1/4 cup of carrots, and this is a coarse paste of 4 cloves of garlic and 4 green chilies, 1 medium-sized onion, and about 2 tablespoons of ghee. So those are all the ingredients we're going to be using for this lovely pulao. So let's get started with the recipe. So I'm going to be heating my pan and adding the ghee to it. Now once the ghee is nice and hot, and also we're going to be using some turmeric powder for the lovely yellow color, about half a teaspoon will do. So once the ghee is nice and hot, I'm going to add these whole spices. Let them nicely flavor the ghee. Next, we're going to be adding the coarsely ground paste of garlic and green chilies. Fry the paste really well. This pulao gets ready so quickly. So if you have any surprise guest or if you want to just give your kids or your family members a tiffin, this is ideal. Now we're going to add the onion and we're going to fry the onion well till it's nice and translucent. So fry the onion along with all of the other ingredients really nicely. Now we're going to add the turmeric powder. Mix it well. And now we're going to add the 3 soup cubes. So like I said, we don't need to add any salt. The soup cubes, add a lovely flavor. Now you can also add the veg soup cubes, but I like to add the chicken soup cubes because it adds an amazing flavor to this pulao. Now you can use basmati rice also for this recipe. I'm using regular rice. Mix everything well and you get the flavor of, you get the aroma rather of all of the ingredients. Now just add all the veggies. You can add veggies of your choice. You can even add small bits of cauliflower. You can add potato, whatever you like to. But fry everything really nicely. And then we're going to drain the water from the rice and add the rice to this mixture. And then we're going to fry everything really well. Add double the quantity of water. Once we have fried everything, take your time and fry everything. The rice also needs to be fried nicely in this ghee and all the other ingredients. That really brings out the flavor. And then all you have to do is just add double the quantity of water. So we've taken 1 cup of rice. We're going to add 2 cups of water. Mix everything well, and then let the water start to boil on a high flame. Once the water starts to boil on a high flame, simmer it, that is, put it on a very low flame, cover and cook for just 5 minutes or till all of the water evaporates. Keep an eye on it, and guys, your pulao will be ready.